Hello, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. We are here for our next episode of Edinburgh by Night, The Rising Sun. First and foremost, I like to lead with a little disclaimer. This is the world of darkness. It is a grim parallel to our own reality where monsters lurk in the shadows. And for our story here, we look into the world of Kindred, the vampires who rule a city from the shadows. Due to the dark nature of this version of reality, our topics may touch against themes which are dark and disturbing. Specifically, there will be themes of off-balance power dynamics, cult activities, and the loss of agency of our characters when they succumb to their own inner beasts, and the violent loss of control that can occur during this time. We've discussed our lines and veils prior to the session, and we do have safety measures in place to look after our own well-being, but it is important that you're looking after your own well-being too. As such, if you need to step away at any time, we would not judge, and in fact, would support that self-care. That being said, let us introduce our players and our characters this evening, starting with Penitent.
Hello, everyone. I am Penitent. I use he and they pronouns. And this evening, as always, I will be playing Lewis Cohen, who uses he, him pronouns, our Tremere Seneschal.
Hello, hello. I'm Syrinx, she, her. And tonight, once again, I have the pleasure of playing our Ventru Sheriff, Sloane. Also she, her.
Howdy, I'm Magpie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Altair, your local Ventru. He uses he, him pronouns.
Hi everyone, my name is Saint or Alyssa Vamp on the internet. I use any pronouns, and I'll be playing Dragoslav Petrovic, your sunshine on Nosferatu Primogen.
Oh, sunny. And a little disclaimer. This chronicle uses elements of the canon story surrounding the fall of London in 2012. However, we are very much telling our own story that runs alongside it at the end of 2011 in Edinburgh. Some events or characters may be adapted, added, or left out. We're just here to have fun. So, last week we visited the Kindred Council members of Edinburgh, and it is clear that this group will willingly work with each other collegiately, but it would be a far stretch to think of them as friendly with one another. Sloane and Altair met first, where Altair gave an update on the burned rag from the ritual site and some other disturbing things that he'd learned about the sensation of feeling burned. They needed to get in touch with some contacts that could deal with both the arcane and intel. And after a digital calendar invite was sent out, the quartet got together, with Lewis coming in to be courteous and his usual slightly slimy self. We love him for it. And Dragoslav was hidden at first and listening into the conversations before revealing himself. After discussion about the current goings-on, the group decided to split off into pairs, with Dragoslav and Altair going to investigate the new group of kindred that have moved into the edges of the city, with them being the suspected source of some thin bloods, ? Lewis and Sloane went to investigate the supposed ritual site. The ritual site provided some answers, nestled in a housing area between Arthur's Seat and Holyrood Palace, where the city's prince claims domain. There, a plant was seen in bloom as if it were springtime and not the frigid cold of mid-November in Scotland. There was also some vitae sensed within the soil, and the sunburst symbolism clicks a sliver of historical knowledge in Sloane, because there was a kindred connected to sun symbolism in the past, and one connected to the British Isles, known as Mithras. Out by the coast, Dragoslav and Altair managed to scout the location, mostly in a smooth manner, aside from falling over a fence, but don't worry, we won't say anything. That and the awkward small talk with them getting to know each other better. And boy, was it awkward. There are clearly some people inside, and there's a camera on the exterior of the building. Dragoslav spotted what looks like a chemistry setup in the kitchen. We're going to be tuning in tonight's session, first with Altair knocking on this door to approach the residents within during the night before. So, Altair, how are you approaching this?
So I think he would have gone almost sort of not round the block, but halfway round, so it looks like he's just approached from round the corner. And then would have sort of tried to make it look as though he was checking up and down the streets as though he'd just come from that way, and then make his way up the main drive, and then knocked on.
It's gonna take a little moment. And eventually, someone is going to come to the door. Looks young, early 20s maybe. Has slightly messy hair, a big statement earring, and a witty slogans t-shirt. And this person is gonna eye you for a moment. Not exactly suspicious, but was not expecting someone. So is going to kind of eye you from the door that has been opened, a fraction, not fully opened. Good evening.
Hi. I was pointed your way as someone who might necessarily be able to start a party.
Eyes you complete top to bottom. What kind of party are you talking about?
The kind we probably shouldn't discuss on a doorstep.
Right. I am gonna ask you for in theory, charisma persuasion. If you feel you are applying a different skill here, you are welcome to. If you were trying to intimidate, then maybe we could swing it that way, but
I'll go charisma persuasion.
okay.
Charisma. Oh, hold on. I have a thing for that.
Oh, weird. Why? Foundry was doing something very strange to me just there. I'm going to refresh it.
Where did it go? I had a trick for this. So I have the beautiful trait, and if memory serves, does that do something?
It can add a dice when your beauty would come into what you're trying to do. So it does add
Cool.
dice. Sure, I'll let you add it. Sometimes I can be a little strict on the beautiful if the person doesn't swing in such a way that they're not going to find you attractive regardless. But why not?
I think you'd probably play it as in a little bit more sort of striking. I guess if we've
Yeah.
sort of heard the music that's coming from there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Discipline. Cool. Oh.
Yikes. What I will say, both yourself and the others, before we come around to you for the start of your day, you can refresh your willpower. It's like half. I do round it up. Refreshes each game session, not necessarily in character nights.
I may re-roll then if that's okay.
I think yes.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Oh
well.
no.
No. He's gonna furrow his brows at you. I mean, sure, not normally in the habit of just letting people into my home when I don't know them or there's nobody to vouch for them.
Clever idea. How about city centre tomorrow?
Yeah. Where?
I tell you what, I'll give you my number. You send me a message
Okay.
if you're still interested in this. I might have a good financial backing for this.
Sure. I mean, I'd be doubtful in case you were a cop trying to, like, go undercover, but I don't know any cops that look like you. So.
No. don't even know any.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll pull out like a little notepad and start
Yeah.
writing down his number, and
Yeah.
we'll hand it over.
Thank you. What's your name?
Oh, Altair.
Okay.
And you?
Kyle.
Let me check my notes.
Sorry. I was like- I just read their names. Kyle.
Well, thank you. Apologies for the late night. I was passing in the area and thought I'd spot in.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry to disappoint, I guess.
No, it's fine. I'd heard you were relatively good in the trade, but it makes sense to not want somebody to come into your home this late at night.
Yeah. Who told you about this place?
I'm not necessarily in the habit of giving out names.
Yeah. All right.
Call me. And he's just gonna.
Now, where do you walk? Because Dragoslav was in the back. Do you walk like away, like just down the street, across the street?
He's gonna go back to sort of along the front of the home, and then back, sort of like I guess towards the garden where he jumped in last time.
Okay.
No, he's not. He's
Uh-huh.
gonna go across the street and keep going down.
Okay. Okay. You do have Mitski the rat in
Yeah.
your pocket.
Yeah.
Cool.
For if you needed.
Dragoslav was like across the street. If we could see him, we just see him doing like the slap squat. And just waiting in the dark as he was watching.
So you moved yourself so that you could see what was going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I
no.
mentioned that he moved
Yeah.
himself towards the front to see what was
Okay.
going on.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it seems that much like the small talk from earlier between the two of you, perhaps social savvy has not been
Don't worry, I'll follow him.
okay.
Yeah, I think Altair wasn't aware that he'd moved, so he's
Yeah.
just trying to not force this person to look on the back camera.
Yeah. Eventually the door will close. And Dragoslav, if you've been following Alter, you can reveal
Mhm.
yourself at whatever point you find, either narratively or comedically reveal
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh, he's gonna wait.
Yeah.
He's gonna wait. And I think when he starts getting antsy, it's like I don't even fucking know where he is. You're just gonna hear boo.
I'm trying to decide if that was a joke or if you're just like this.
Have you come to a conclusion?
Not yet, but I have a name. And I may have a contact that I can check alongside.
Good.
They seemed a little antsy and I didn't want to necessarily push them.
Most people that deal drugs and a stranger comes up are antsy.
Yes, on the bonus side, you said I didn't look like a cop.
Just see
High-
him
high
looking you up and
compliment.
down. Not a very good cop who knows how to disguise themselves, but not many of them do. They have cop walk and cop stance most of the time.
Perhaps we ought to head back.
Yes, I am going in the back. The front is very cramped.
That's fine. It's
Good.
Like
what's
lay
designed.
down in the back of the hearse.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna lay down the coffin part of the hearse.
Yeah.
And no worries. I contacted one of my ghouls and hopefully we will have the cameras erased.
Perfect, thank you. I'll
And
consider that
tapped.
next time.
Yes. Do please consider that next time.
I thought I was being helpful.
You can be helpful, but it doesn't mean that they'll cover you from everything. You were good tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me with you.
Mhm.
You know what you're doing.
I know.
He's just sat in the front going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
He puts out a hand, and it's just like this. So it's confusing until you feel Misky just move and like move down
Yeah.
your arm and jump into his hand. It's like just for a second, he's just like this, just waiting expectantly.
Yeah.
He was about to,
Yeah.
and then realized, and then tried
Yeah.
to make it look like he was bridging the gap.
Yeah, totally. I knew what you were doing, and
Yeah.
I was
Mhm.
helping.
You hear some excited squeaks, Alter Dragoslav. You'll hear Papa. And she goes to go into your pocket now.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
a little scritch.
It's this little gal.
It's a little gal.
Okay.
Trust
So
me, gal.
very good. That night will eventually come to a close. And both groups have various bits of intel to talk to either each other or the other group about. As it is the start of an evening, now we can all do our rouse checks for the
Could
evening.
I have try and hunted the night before? Because I'm at 3 hunger. Or I could hunt tonight.
Sure. Where
However you wish.
well,
Could we go together?
We if you yeah.
Because
How
like
do you
Altair's a little bit shenackish.
well how do you hunt? Because he hunts a particular way.
He's a bit of a back alley sort of opportunist.
a back alley boy, if you will.
Yeah. I'm they can't see me if they're asleep.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go our separate ways then.
Yeah. I feel like Alter suggests that he's like, no.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean we can do a little bit of hunting. I would offer it then to all 4 of you if anybody felt like they needed to hunt that night. Or we can just wait for the night that we're playing today.
I'll wait.
Okay.
I can wait. I probably won't have 4 hunger, right?
It's you're a Nosferatu primogen. You can handle this shit.
I know that's true. I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm old in this game.
Yeah, it turns out age doesn't matter a drop if your beast decides to be a dick. Okay. So rouse checks for the start of the evening.
Oh thank God.
My foundry's crashed.
Oh. It went a little wonky for me earlier actually. Give it a little refresh.
Let me in.
If it doesn't work, I can do it for you.
Let me do it for
Potentially.
you.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
I'll do it for just now and then we can. Oh, sorry. You failed.
Oh no.
I was normally like 8 times out of 10 when I roll for people it tends to go well. Not today. Apologies. Okay. So a few things. Have a consideration, those of you who feel you're going to need to hunt about how you're going to hunt while I read to you some bits of information that is going to come your way at the start of this evening. So for Lewis, while you are starting your evening, whatever else that may look like, and if you need to hunt, then that is so. The prince is going to have summoned you, wants some updates on the goings on of the city. She knows you move and shake in very particular ways and will often seek updates from you. For Sloane, you are going to get a text message from Landon Sinclair. He is requesting either a meetup or just to see your interest in meeting a venture of note from London. He won't word it exactly like that, but a distant family member is what he will call it. Looking to come and set up in Scotland. Wants to know if you'd like to meet to give a nice warm welcome. So it's just the text message with the initial inquiry. We can elaborate on that once we get to it. Altair, you're gonna get a phone call from Meredith Reed. We can get into the exact back and forth with the conversation, and it can happen at a time of your choosing if you want someone else to be around you when you're having this call. But it's going to be about thanking you for your help with her goal. She has an update on that situation for you. So we can have that call when you fancy. And then for Dragoslav, Garrett is going to get in touch. Your whip. He's got some intel about the weird energies around the city. He thinks you're going to want to know. He'll frequently drop you the I have updates, how do you want it, essentially, because sometimes you might just want him to write a report. At this point, it's fairly safe to use Shreknet for these things. You all believe. So he can write you a report, he can phone, he can come and meet you in person. So he
I think
usually touches base
he
to
will
see.
suggest, because I feel like in the night, these few nights, it's like something weird's happening and I don't know what it is.
So want to meet up. Okay. Yep.
So meet up, at the Black Moon.
Okay. So, first and foremost, Lewis, you've had a summon, and
Yes.
also, do you need to hunt tonight?
I mean, I'm at full hunger, and I don't think that's a good idea to rock up to the prince's house, prince's
Damn,
office,
bitch.
being functionally just about to starve.
Yeah, I love that. I'm at for hunger, so okay.
Probably.
Okay. So, how do you choose to hunt tonight?
Yeah.
What does your
So,
hunting style look like?
my hunting style is as they're looking to remember what it is. I am a trapdoor hunter. I have a
yes.
I have a there's a property that I own that I use as an Airbnb. You know, not and it is basically I just go in there and it's a very very similar to what it sounds like a Dragslav's hunting style is, which is when they're asleep they can't see it, and I think it's very much I have a similar methodology, but I bring them to a place that of my choosing rather than breaking into their own accommodation. So yeah, it's I think
Okay.
that's what it looks. That's the type of thing, and that's sort of how it looks like is just I think it's marketed at young professionals, sort of like doing like if you come up to Edinburgh for a meeting or something like that, and you don't want to, but you don't want to necessarily pay for a hotel, like a chain hotel or whatever like that. It's sort of that's what it's marketed as, someone,
Yeah.
a
And do
single
you
individual.
prefer it to be when they are asleep or when they are?
I think it's actually when it's not when they're asleep. I think it's when I'm sort of introducing them. It's when I'm sort of. I think I'm trying to talk like them into thing, and I think I just sort of feed. It's sort of a. I think in the way that we've seen Lewis, that sort of charm, that superficial charm, and then sort of a sudden burst of violence as I sort of feed on them.
Amazing. Do your role, please.
Yeah, I think I've got it set up to do it for me. I do. That's exciting. Oh, good. I succeeded. That's a bonus. Oh, sorry, we're in a homeless shelter. Never go. Apparently, I already described that. I forgot that part. So I do apologize, but I'm going to rewrite that because I think I like my current idea better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forget how hunting works and feeding works in this.
I am so muted. So I think with two, it's not a nice, easy, clean thing. And with four hunger, what I'm gonna ask for, and it should be relatively easy to roll given that we're at the start of the night and you've not had any spent willpower, etc. I'm gonna ask for a frenzy roll because as soon as you bite down on this person's neck and you get that taste of blood on your tongue, your beast is trying to make it difficult for you. It wants to keep going.
Yes. I am trying to. My goal is to only feed enough that this person will survive. But
yes.
yeah,
So your intentions and your beast intentions are markedly
absolutely
different
not
tonight.
aligned.
Yeah. It wants to keep going until there's not a single drop left.
Yeah.
So if you can, you'll see the resist frenzy is just above the button that you just clicked for your for hunger rolls. And we'll see how you do. Yeah,
very, very effectively.
I love that. Yeah, it's like, listen, bitch. And I'm curious for you to narrate, if you can, the way that just mentally you have that, essentially a conversation with yourself to bring it to heal so that you are in control of the situation. And then add on top of that how much of that hunger you want to satiate tonight.
Yeah.
One is just a little sip to take an edge off. Two is going to leave the person feeling a little bit woozy. If you took three, this person is likely to lose consciousness but not necessarily die outright. So you have a choice there, and you are in control. So please narrate, how do you get it under control?
There is a moment where Lewis, probably the only time, like so far the first time we've seen genuine emotion on Lewis's face, as he bites for the first time. There is this sort of reckless abandon, sort of like that comes across his face, and while like he's not even, and he just immediately stops drinking for just a second, and kind of in it mentally what he's doing is he is reciting I think it's an old poem that he heard many years ago, um, and he's just using, and that is sort of his mantra to keep himself in control. I'm going to take two from this individual.
Okay.
I'm still a little bit. I could probably eat, but it's tolerable,
manageable. So you have that control and peace of mind to very much bring your beast to heal. Take as much as you intend. The person might feel a little lightheaded afterwards, but thankfully they're in a space where they would be resting anyway. So you can kind of go and just stick them in their room.
I do that. There's I keep a supply of sort of just empty sort of alcoholic bottles, like bottles of spirits, that I just keep in a cupboard that is locked otherwise when guests are here, and I just dot them around the bed and things, like hoping that this person, with this intention that this person believes that they just got blackout drunk.
Yeah. Okay. And the text message was a summon from the prince. It did not imply that it had to be immediate, but how do you feel you would deal with that?
Sort of have a small monogrammed napkin dab in my head.
Of course you do. What color is it?
It is dark purple.
Okay.
And I send I send a message back. I am as always at your convenience. Where and when?
She will invite you to the palace. Some people might see it as on the nose that a prince would set up shop in Holyrood Palace, but to her mind, it's the only appropriate place in Edinburgh for a person of her caliber. So she will invite you there. There are rooms there that you will frequently go to meet with her,
Mhm.
where it is private and controlled and very much her space. Not many people get to come into these rooms, but you, being her seneschal, is one of them.
Mhm.
So just we'll say at some point this evening.
Yeah.
She gives you that space and the room. I guess the understanding that you might have either other things to deal with beforehand, or just preferring it to be a little later into the evening.
Mhm.
Doesn't run things if she is a Toreador, of course, rather than a Ventrue. I feel like if it was a Ventrue, you would have had a very specified
Yeah.
time and place and location.
It's more vibes based for her.
It's vibes based, yeah. When you're ready.
Mhm.
But you know the where, and this evening.
That's fine, as long as I know it's long. I don't have a specific time I need to be there for.
Yeah.
Um,
And
wonderful.
perhaps for your particular thing, meeting with the others to try and get a little bit more information about what they've been
Would
doing
potentially be
first, to
helpful.
then take that information to her feels very useful. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Maximum impact.
I think to that end, whenever we cut to Dragoslav, he will have a message waiting for him.
We will see what that
Just
says when we.
Yeah, happy to wait till then. Yeah.
Sure. Just remind me when we get there in case I forgot to.
Of course.
Okay. So, Sloane, at the start of your evening, do you need to feed tonight?
I do, but I have plans for it.
Wonderful.
And that might only be later in the evening.
Wonderful. So, you hold on to your hunger for now. You did get this text message from Landon. Is there anything that you would do with that presently?
So in the way that it is worded, is it a suggestion of I will be there as well, or is it more of a thing of
you there as well? So I think there's a couple things. Well, first and foremost, despite his considerable age, he texts like somebody who is, very much a modern man of 2011. If anything, probably more tech savvy than a lot of current people. He was always of the opinion you either adapt or you fall into obscurity, and that's not acceptable for him. So, he can be quite colloquial at times in the way that he will text, at times. For this one, the implication is that there is somebody who's going to be visiting. They are looking to perhaps move and settle down in Scotland, and they're from the family. The option is, would you like to be there for the warm greeting? And it's people can be very careful in how they word things in text message when it comes to full kindred terminology. And I think the one thing that you're not certain of is when he's speaking about the family, it could be Ventrue or it could be people of the Antonius bloodline that the two of you share.
It's not because he sends a message that I jump. So I'll just reply, is it worth my time?
He says, replies very quick. I believe that it is. And then replies underneath that, two separate messages because, I will understand if you are too busy.
um the way I text is very short and to the point. So doing this while I am already on the move outside, I will only give him the response of time, date, place. I'll check my schedule.
Okay. He says, noted 2011. What is going to be the full scope of emojis? He does send emojis. Originally, he would send the emoticons. Little winky face. I think you just get thumbs up. That lets you know he's on it. He's an interesting one for you, and just to discuss it to the audience here. He is an interesting one because the age that he is, and he does hold a significance in society. You know that his business leanings tend more towards medical services, and he's clever with it, and you understand the cleverness behind it because it means he has access to blood banks, he has access to morgues, he has access to places to drop people off when they're mysteriously feeling unwell. And every time somebody needs a problem like that solved, if they don't want to deal with the Hecata, he is just racking up boons constantly. So it's clever of him. And he doesn't seem to be doing it in a power grabby way because he's not the Primogen. It is somebody who is gasp new money, who is new money from the industrial era, who is currently the Primogen in this city, and Landon has always seemed quite content with what his position is. He has spent time in the London court for like a century or two. He's been in Paris. He frequently comes back to Scotland. This was his homeland as a mortal man. So he's an interesting one. And if he believes it to be important to welcome this visiting and possible new resident Ventrue, it may be that they hold enough sway that it's worth meeting. If they were, they'd been embraced like 5 years ago and they're just a new, fresh, young go-getter, that's not really.
We'll see. I'll make my own judgments.
Yeah. Withholding that. Fabulous. So he gives you a thumbs up. He will let you know later on once he has organized a date and time to see if it fits your schedule. Okay. Altair.
Yes.
You need to hunt.
Yes.
You are going to be getting this phone call from Meredith, and I am happy for you to narratively select the time, whether it is pre-hunt, during hunt, after hunt, when you're around the other PCs. You can let me know when your phone rings and we will have that conversation.
I think since his discussion with Sloane last week, or not last week, yesterday, he has kept his phone on silent for phone calls unless he is in the presence of the others. Or will only take phone calls from this group so he can feed back. I think for now, though, he is out at the top end of Canongate, sort of where quite a few of the bars are. Not quite getting straight onto the high street, but just sort of broaching getting onto that area without quite crossing onto the territory. I think he is sort of watching for people that are out of the evening. He is keeping an eye on tourists. He is sort of watching for where any particular rabbles start. In specific, he is looking for any sort of groups of sort of folks causing trouble, and more specifically, any that seem that they are very, very drunk, very, very loud, very, very boisterous, and just generally making it not as fun for others.
Yeah. Sure. I know the perfect group. So, picture it if you will. We're in this very central area of Edinburgh, often very busy, often with tourists, sometimes international tourists, sometimes just local, Scottish tourists. This group are mid-20 men on a stag night. They are clearly already very drunk. The drinking probably started during the day. And unfortunately, when groups like this are that level of drunk with other people, they're making it everybody else's problem. By being very loud and very boisterous and like going up and trying to get people's attention. And there's often people who are busking essentially, but with bagpipes. Sometimes it's just during the day. Occasionally there might be one there at night. Usually posting up near the sort of courthouse, and there is somebody there, and they're like, "Whoa," like giving it laldy, if you will. They seem like a perfect group. They also seem like you could probably try to secure one on their own if you were crafty about it.
Cool. I think he will keep them in the sight, not be obvious about it. We'll sort of watch them for a little bit of the evening. And I think we'll see if he can maybe necessarily catch any of them going anywhere near close.
Yeah. The closes are great spots for kind of slipping out of one of the pubs. Maybe like at the World's End pub is a good one. And slipping out and going down the close that's near there. For reference for everybody, the close is the tiny little, it's not really a street. You have to like pull your arms in to walk down them. And he's gone down that way to light up a cigarette.
Cool. I think Altair will see where he's going and will try and sort of intercept to get in there before him. Will secrete himself into the shadows. Will pull up sort of his obfuscate, which I can never say correctly. We'll wait until he's settled. We'll wait until he is sort of mid-smoke, and we'll just jump at him. Incredible. We'll just try and get him around sort of the shoulders.
Yeah.
So that would be, I wrote this
your
down.
Roll, and you're using your obfuscate for it, so you can add your obfuscate dice to it.
Cool. And then could I also use, so I think it'd be strength and brawl?
I believe, yeah, you should have a note somewhere. If not, I recommend, so the good thing about the Foundry, in fact, I think all of the VTTs for this game, you can build custom rolls, which means you can build your hunting roll so that you just click the one button. It's very handy. I'll talk to you guys about that during the break. But yes, strength brawl sounds correct. You can add your obfuscate.
And then I have a speciality in grappling.
Yeah, that sounds like it applies. So you can definitely click that.
Hang on. How do I add that? I'm being very silly.
So
got it. I found it.
Hey.
Look at me. Oh.
Chat, we did it.
Oh, chat, we didn't do it.
You're rolling terribly today.
3 is, I would recommend to avoid anything really bad or messy happening. Maybe we'll for re-rolling that.
I'm gonna go for that.
Okay, 4 is fine. Yeah. 3 in this instance with 2 1s just felt a little too like your beast was really trying to be an absolute asshole to you there.
Yes. I think he's hungry and he's a little bit worried, so he can feel it pacing.
Yeah. It causes you to clamp down just a little bit harder. However, you do have control over yourself as you're doing it. How much hunger would you like to take? 1 little sippy little enough in style, or taking 2? He'll be a little woozy, but quite honestly, he's already pretty tanked.
I think he'd probably take the 2.
Okay. And my challenge to you, I could make it mechanical because there is actually mechanical things when you drink things that have substances in them. I'm just going to acknowledge the skilled role player that you are, to acknowledge the fact that you've just drunk from somebody who is like off his tits. He's so drunk.
Wonderful.
Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be his level of drunk. It gets more muted, but you have consumed
Secondhand drunk
blood. So
Amazing.
I'll let you decide what kind of drunk alter it is. Okay, delicious. And we'll take that phone call maybe later.
Yes.
Okay. Last but not least, Dragoslav, we've established that you
Hello.
need to hunt.
Yes.
And you have had this message sent to you early evening
Yes.
from Garrett.
Yes. He will try to hunt. I should have looked this up. I was thinking about it, but I didn't look it up. And I don't think he where is it? He tries not to hunt too often here, but there are apartments on top of his shop. He tries not to use them too often, just to not cause anything extra weird to be happening in his territory. But I think with everything happening, he's sticking close. So he will use his little underground passage towards Black Moon Botanica, and instead of going in, he will use a back door to these apartments. Okay. And it's strange because he uses the stairs and he almost stalks the hallways unseen to kind of figure out which apartments are asleep and which are not.
Yes.
You must bounce on it.
Bounce upon it. Okay. So marvelous. Sure. So build your hunting roll. You can add your obfuscation to this as you're going unseen. I don't believe you have anything else specific to add to that, but do correct me if I am wrong.
Using my break-in and
specialty, yep. You have a Mr. Sandman roll, I'm assuming that's your
Yes,
hunting.
I do. But I do have to add my obfuscate, which it did not.
Okay.
Give me a second. I think it might have already, obviously. That's 4 extra dice, so.
Okay, so just roll 4 dice and see how many of them are over 6.
Yeah. Maybe, why don't you, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna.
/R.
For
old school.
Yeah.
Nice. 3
2,
and there's a 10, so that becomes 6. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 successes. Which needless to say, quite successful. That possible visual failures, you're fine.
Shut up, beast.
Shut up. This is very successful, and I will say you're gonna know while you are creeping up there and finding this person who is asleep. While you're feeding from them, they seem to be in a very deep sleep. Almost slightly fevered. They don't seem to be too terribly well. You don't think that feeding from them is necessarily going to kill them, and nothing that they're ill with is going to affect you. But it's worth noting that this person is in the very heavy sleep because they seem to be slightly fevered.
Okay, I think he'll notice it because his touch is very cold, so like people who are warm are extra warm, but like this person is extra warm.
Yeah.
So
if anything, your cold touch might be a relief to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you take 1 little sippy sip or 2?
2 little sippy sips.
2 little sippy sips in on the wall.
I think you see, like, he takes off his glove, and you see this large hand kind of like grasps the side of its face, cooling this person to kind of almost relax and deeper into sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other hand just takes down the mask, and just this maw of teeth just going for right between the shoulder blade and the neck.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sippy sippy.
Sippy sippy. All right, graveyard girl. God, that was a deep cut.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, do you do anything about Garrett right now?
He will meet with Garrett because he got a message from Lewis. That Lewis wants his opinion and perspective on a few things.
So you've had the text message then?
Yes.
Do you want to read it to us?
Sure. It says, Mr. Petrovic, I humbly request some of your time to discuss our current business with Miss Burley. Our superior demands an update from me, and I would benefit from your perspective.
Mm. Okay.
It's just a thumbs up he gets.
Yeah. So are you holding off on talking to Garrett and speaking to Lewis, or
he wants to speak to Garrett first?
First, okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And then
we're meeting him in the Black Moon Botanica.
Yes.
Okay, so the little witchy shop is seemingly closed for business, just not this kind of business.
Yeah.
Garrett will also slip in for the most part unseen. He is also a very skilled Nosferatu. And what we see is your Nosferatu whip. He will do your bidding and things pertaining to the clan. He bald-headed. He doesn't seem to try to shroud or hide himself. Obfuscation is enough for him, it seems. And you know that that's because he clearly has the markers of a Nosferatu, just not quite so disfigured or repulsive as they can be. My mind is very much, and I don't know how many of you have seen the TV show Britannia. It is really good television. It gets a bit weird towards the end, but Mackenzie Crook plays a druid in that, and he has the deeply sunken in eyes, very dark pupils, larger pupils than normal, quite shriveled, slightly wraith-like mouth, and he has various tattoos that he has it likely from when he was mortal, because getting a tattoo stick when you're kindred is tricky. There are a couple ways, but you need to get favors from questionable people to do that.
Aren't we all questionable people?
Aren't we all? Well, you know. And he tends to wear black rather than the neon, but like cybergoth industrial kind of clothing. And he leans on the fact that if somebody mortal was to see him, he just looks like a heavily body modded, skinny, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But he could pull it off that he's just a bit goth, and people are like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
The way that they often will with people, with mortals who do various body mods. So he kind of leans on that. He will appear, and give you a nod of the head.
Gets a nod back. Sorry, I was so thirsty.
You all right, boss?
I'm okay. Everything okay with you?
Yeah, I suppose. He has a t-shirt on, by the way, that has a fish sitting on top of a pair of like slightly flopped over Converse high tops, and it says, "Well, if the shoe fish," because he is prone to wearing ridiculous t-shirts. Ridiculous. He has a collection of them. It is the only way he shows his sense of humor. Yeah, I've been following up on a few things what we spoke about. And I've been getting into places and listening to conversations. Heard a lot of what the Tremere are talking about with each other. So, it seems that this surge in energy, it's called veins of the earth. It's what they've called it. Apparently this area was not necessarily presented with this kind of energy. It's like ley lines. I haven't done the digging on the lore behind it. I've just heard what they were talking about with each other about it. But when they said it, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about." So they believe that that is resulting in sickness in the mortals. They can feel that there's something intense happening around this sort of like Greyfriar Kirkyard area.
Yes.
And apparently, we'll explain, they also have noted, at least one of them noted, that there's been like the red mold and the strange redness of the water, and they think it's all connected. And I hung around a little bit in the park yesterday in the Kirkyard. It's basically a park for me. And a lot of the mortals were sensing weird shit, and they're claiming that it's the poltergeist that kind of lives, you know, it's attached to that mausoleum. So naturally they're all, well, let's go find a ghost. Idiots.
Well, maybe it's time someone got a little bit too hurt so that people will back off.
I don't know that would work. Some people are thrill seekers.
Then I'll be thrilled to have delivery and have a chance to dine in.
Sure.
I am joking.
Yeah, I got that. I love it because they're both so deadpan that it's like, yeah, I know you were joking. I understood. I just didn't laugh. I was laughing inside. Tee-hee.
Tee-hee.
So,
right.
Veins of the Earth. Ley lines.
Veins of the Earth. And this is new. These were not appearing in Edinburgh before.
No, not this area, no.
Right.
So I don't know if something has shifted. I don't know if it's somebody who has the power to do shifting of that, or whether something hinky has happened outside of what Kindred are capable of doing.
Nice. Do you have an area or areas that are specifically being affected by this, or does it just seem like it's all over?
It's in this area specifically.
Yes. There was a fed from a mortal tonight that was particularly feverish in this area. Okay. This is not good.
Well, hey, we have a name for it.
We do. Good job.
They seem excited about it though. And I don't know what they can really do with it, but
yeah, magic
they're
bullshit.
Like, yeah, magic bullshit, yeah.
Yes. Can you do me a favor tonight? There is a house by the coast. I am unsure if it's ghouls only, but the drug house. If you could just keep an eye on them, get any information. If you can get in, they have a camera in the back, but that's all I spotted. Just do your normal digging.
Okay, what do you need to know?
What specifically are they doing that is connected with kindreds? I believe they are connected to thin bloods, and our sheriff is not very happy with their presence.
Should we get the scourges on that?
Yes, but I don't trust the scourges less as trust you.
Okay, I can do that. I can get in. Yeah, just give me the address.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
He'll write it down. Despite the use of Shagnet and everything, he has a penchant to write things down, and anyone that works with him, like the whip or his goals, know that they write it down, they see it, and they can't burn it afterwards. It was there last night. There were only maybe 3 people inside. If one of them leaves, maybe trace them or see if that leads you to any other secondary location.
Okay. Copy that.
Goodbye. He just turns.
Yeah. He also turns around and has gone from sight before leaving the shop. Okay. So, a few of us have perhaps reason to get in touch and arrange meetings with each other and or other people. What are your next steps, everybody, for the rest of this evening?
I'm seeing where Lewis wants to meet.
I think I propose a sort of just effectively a neutral place that we can have privacy. Sort of just there's probably like I don't know, late night sort of co-working space or something like similar to what Sloan used previously for the meeting for the sheriff. Something
copycat.
Absolutely.
If it's a good idea.
It's listen. It is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah.
Sincerity, a word that's often associated with Lewis.
Yeah.
He's so honest and trustworthy and sincere. Yeah, you can try to organize something like that. I feel so not far from High Street, the Royal Mile, still in Old Town, which is relatively near to where the two of you hold domain. The University of Edinburgh has various bits and pieces of campus in that area. That definitely has some co-working space. I feel like there is maybe probably the Toreador Primogen has some domain over National Museum of Scotland, but there is rooms there that you can go in and essentially request as co-working space too, but it's very much the domain of somebody else. So there's a few options without having to feel like you have to go to the place where there's proper modern offices through in Newtown.
I think it's either that or I think that's probably I think that's where Lewis is at the moment. He sometimes meets in other places, but I think that's where he's at the moment. It was a good idea, and I think he respects that Sloan came up with it and is gonna try and steal it.
Very good.
And pretend like he came up with it.
Yeah. So you two will be meeting up. What about Sloan and Altair?
I think Altair would have started walking his way to Sloane's offices. And similarly would have put in a meeting request for like an hour's time. He knows that he can only do everything through Teams at this point.
Yeah.
But also would have sent a text. So he has a couple of criminal contacts.
Yes.
There is one that I think I've pinged over previously called Alva.
Yeah.
And I think he would have texted her just to sort of say, what's going on at the minute? Nothing. He wouldn't go into it. He'd just sort of say, what's going on? ?
Okay. Okay.
There are typos in it.
It's marvelous. Oh fuck. I don't have access to that document. Okay. So, what's going on? And we're looking more, this is a criminal contact. Mortal, remind me about this person.
She's a thin blood that he usually uses as a sort of patch up style doctor-ish.
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Where do you suppose she would normally stay, given that occasionally our scourges try to seek out thin bloods and thin out their numbers, so to speak?
So she is a little bit further out, so she tends to stay out towards, I think it's sort of Dalmany.
Okay.
So far out of Edinburgh, just past the airport, and then up towards the Forth.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll get a text to you from her. Have some things she might give you. All right. And Sloan, you've had a request for a meeting.
Yeah, I think on a topic of Mithras and all of that, I think, well, definitely since we didn't focus in on it, I wouldn't have left that scene without at least telling Lewis, like, because he is into the occult aspect as well. So I'd probably at least tell him, or have given him the information of looking into any cult of sun god specific stuff.
Yeah. I am more than happy to give a little bit of space here at this side of the break to at least see how that conversation will have played out, if you're interested.
If we're interested in that, yes.
Oh, your audio just dropped.
Am I back?
Yes.
Something wild happened because I heard myself double. Anyway.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, weird stuff is happening. I'm hearing it again. Anyway, if you can still hear me, that's all fine.
We can hear you.
Yeah. I think a more interesting conversation will happen once I've met up with Landon and gotten more information on Mithras. I don't think I need to focus in on the conversation that Lewis and Sloan had, basically coming down to they were at that seat together. If Sloan clocked that, she would have probably said that it was important for him occult-wise to see about any information about cults for sun gods, specifically around London, but not necessarily only there.
Okay.
I will be waiting to. I would have reached out to other Ventrue in the area. However, knowing that Landon wanted to meet up is a perfect place to ask someone who's older and has been around the London area to ask about the Mithras stuff. Pause right now for Sloan, which means that she would have time if Altair put in a meeting to have him come over. Sure.
Yeah, we can definitely have a little conversation with Landon. He would make himself available to you. So that can definitely happen sort of like ahead of meeting with Lewis eventually. Okay. Let's start with 10 minutes. It's enough to get a chunk of a meeting, I think, between Lewis and Dragoslav in this little workspace. Who would be there first, I suppose?
He would probably have intended to be there first. That doesn't preclude the fact that Dragoslav may have snuck in there before me, but the intentionality was for me to be there first, because, I'm showing respect to the people I've asked to come here. I'm not going to turn up late. It's only if people ask me to go somewhere that I'm late. You know.
Correct.
Surprisingly, Dragoslav does not sneak in. He does sneak into the building itself,
Mhm.
but once he's inside, he will be himself. And just arrive like any other normal Nosferatu Primogen.
Mhm.
He does not do the sneaking when it's specifically Lewis, it seems.
Mm.
So as soon as Dragslav walks in, I stand. Mr. Petrovic, thank you so much for your time. Offers a hand.
He looks down at the hand and just slowly raises it and shakes it, and even through the leather gloves, you can feel it's cold.
Mhm. Thank you, please. I trust I'm not imposing on you too much this evening.
No.
Wonderful, wonderful. Firstly, how did it go yesterday evening with Mr. Knox?
It went well.
Fantastic. Just as I said in my message, my superior is requesting an update about events in the city. Therefore, I thought it best to get information, figure out exactly what as much as we know, so we can present a united front. After all, we're all in this together, aren't we?
Yes, your superior is our superior.
Absolutely.
If you're asking for my opinion on what is going on, well, it seems that Thin Bloods is the running theory. Thin Bloods in a drug house does not seem too original.
No, which interesting choice of words there, Mr. Petrovic. The running theory. What's your theory?
Well, I do believe that that is what we're dealing with, but I believe that they are doing more than what Thin Bloods tend to just be doing. What it is that they're doing, I do not know, but I intend to find out. And of course, you will all be the first to know when I do.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I'm included in your updates. That's really appreciated. Um, Remind me, I don't need to know the specifics, of course, but you tend to frequent um, sort of areas around Greyfriars, yes?
Around what? So you're a little quiet for me.
Greyfriars.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You haven't noticed anything strange about the kind there, have you?
Why do you ask?
It's just something my our domains are very close to each other. I've noticed it, and I think I'm just wondering if it's localized to myself or whether it's affecting my neighbors' pantries.
Hmm. I would assure you that if you have noticed something, it is most likely that I have noticed it a few days before you have.
This is true. This is why I was wondering if I just wanted to confirm this.
It is
Wonderful,
confirmed.
wonderful, wonderful.
And what is your theory on that, Mr. Cohen?
Still working on it.
Hmm.
Can intrigue. Call it professional curiosity, though.
Hmm. On the seneschal side or on the Tremere side?
I'll leave that to your imagination.
Hmm. You are an open book as always.
Always try.
Hmm.
You don't happen to have contact details for Mr. Knox? I seem to have misplaced them in my Rolodex.
I do not. I suggest you go through his handler.
Of course. Just we'd love to get his perspective, if you see
Yes.
that.
Well, word of advice: go through her if you
Thank
want
you
to
so
keep
much.
on her good side.
Of course, of course, of course. Yes, well, I do so appreciate your time. I know it's busy. I know you're a very busy individual. I know you've got what's that saying? Many pans in the fire.
Sure.
One last thing.
What do you?
Oh, sorry. No, you please, before I.
No, please continue.
Why the fuck are you sneaking around Sloan?
I think this is one of the first times you have heard Dragos laugh.
What was that
Ask,
about?
asking a Nosferatu why they are sneaking around.
What the? Just. I
That
understand
is
why you. I understand that you sneak. That's your thing. Why then? Why that moment? It doesn't make sense.
does not make sense to you. I do not have
Mm,
to explain my motives to you.
Just
Why do
you
you care so much about who is sneaking around her?
I care because that's our sheriff, and her job
Yes.
is to keep our domain safe. If you are sneaking around, that implies suspicion. If you have suspicions about our sheriff, that implies discontent in the domain. And if there's discontent in the domain, then there is issues for me to solve.
Yes, and I trust that you do a excellent job as a seneschal, and I will bring my concerns to you should I have them. But I do not like to bring problems. I like to bring solutions. So
Okay.
once
Yeah,
I have my solutions, you will hear about it.
of course. No, that makes sense. I, I understand.
Of course.
What
I
was it
do
you were
not.
saying? Sorry.
I would like to know your perspective on what is that we are hunting. How did it go with Sheriff Burley last night?
It's nothing. The magic doesn't suggest to be anything that I'm familiar with.
Hmm.
I have the sheriff suggested
Troubling
I
thing to hear
consider
from a
some.
Tremere.
The sheriff suggested I consider historical cults from to do with the sun. I'm not sure why, but something
Hmm.
seemed to spark in their memory.
Would you like me to look into it for you?
Not yet. I have some resources that I wish to draw upon first, but
Of course.
the offer is appreciated.
Anytime.
Thank
Sun
you so
cults,
much.
how peculiar.
Yes, indeed.
Especially in Edinburgh.
Yeah. Even before I died, I don't remember the last time I saw the sun.
Of course.
Oh,
But
I'm sure we both have things to do.
we
As
do.
always, much appreciated.
Of course. And as ever, I am at your service, Seneschal.
And are yours, Imogen.
Hmm. Dragoslav will give a bow, half uh mocking, half serious. Uh and he will leave. And as soon as he passes through the door, he's just not there.
Mhm. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Very good. So as stated in the introduction, willing to work collegiately, friendly with one another. um, we're gonna take our break now, and take 10 minutes. So please go rest, stretch your leggies, get a drink, whatever. Go sippy on someone's neck if you like. And then come back in 10 minutes, everybody. We're back, everybody. There was a few tech gremlins tonight. I stand by the fact that I think Alessandra's been lurking about, messing things up. Or maybe it's the Second Inquisition hacking in, guys. Shh. But we're back. We had a few conversations, a few scenes, a few moments of hunting. There's a lot going on in Edinburgh right now, and these guys are the council members, so it's like Vampire the Masquerade Employment Edition, because they have real life jobs to do. We're going to hop in with a conversation between Sloane and Landon Sinclair first, before you try to have your little get together with Altair, and before Lewis goes to find out what the prince wants. I feel like Landon will often offer spaces that are under his control to have meetings, mostly because he knows that there's security there. But he respects the fact that you are sheriff, and will allow you to veto that to call your own meeting space. What would you organize for tonight?
Absolutely. Yes.
Mhm.
First of all, I would absolutely take.
Mm.
I feel like it'll. I fear it'll keep happening.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up. I don't know why. Oh well.
Technology.
Yeah. I don't even think he gets better treatment than anyone else.
Mm.
I think he gets the treatment of a co-working space.
Okay. Yeah.
But I will absolutely take the power position of taking my own location.
Yeah. He offers that to you. And you know that is being offered as a gift. Usually, in theory, he has not only seniority, but even just in the bloodline, to take that power should he wish. And you note that with you in this instance, is similar how he treats his position here in Edinburgh. He intentionally lets other people have the power, which you'll be aware isn't an act of feeling like he is less powerful. You know him well enough now to know that there's still a level of control in that, and there's usually intention behind it, but with you, there is respect there. So he will come to the space. He will arrive 10 minutes early, usually, for his meetings.
Just
Yeah.
to be clear,
Yes.
this is not for the Ventru, like, or the family as well, right? Meeting like the person who wants to come to Edinburgh.
No, this is just between you and him. This is just a
Yes.
a catch
Okay.
up where you now have the opportunity to ask
Yes.
further questions that can't be elaborated in through text.
Perfect.
Mhm.
He will be received the same way anyone else would be.
Mhm.
Nothing special about it. No dressing up, no anything. Yeah. If he arrives early,
Mhm.
I'd at least know to expect that,
Mhm.
and I'd be waiting outside the building.
Okay. Yep. So he will walk up to you with a smile that is warm. He is dressed smartly, as he often is, well tailored, and rather than being designer, true Venture know that you need bespoke made by a tailor, not a designer. Designer's not actually the top elite of wearing dress. It is having something bespokely made for you. So he will arrive with a smile. Do you feel you guys have ever been the sort to handshake?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that we're huggers.
No.
He hugs people when they require them. Like there's
No.
some people who do.
No, they're not
this.
huggers.
No.
No,
No.
there's like a handshake. I'll even go as far as to say, I don't. What is his last name? Because I don't have that.
Sinclair.
Yeah. So I there is no hug there.
No.
There's like a handshake. ever so kind of you, Mr. Sinclair, to make some time in your very busy nights.
Of course. Happy to make time for you.
Of
Shall we off?
course.
And he'll
Yeah.
indicate general upward.
I have a room for us. I'll bring you there. Yeah.
Excellent. I trust you're keeping well. And he does the generic small talk as you are entering into the building, because sometimes there may be mixed company or whatever. So just the usual small talky situation until he knows that the two of you are in a space that is comfortable and private.
Yeah. Once we're in there, doors locked. I really don't know why it keeps happening. Oh well. Once the door is locked, I'll turn. I'll say, I'm not going to take up any more time than I need. So, I fear that I am in a situation where your expertise and your age help out, and you might have some useful knowledge that I'm not capable of getting otherwise.
Absolutely. Whatever I can do to help. And he sits back. He does that thing of like undoing the bottom button of suit jacket as is proper once you're sitting down, and gets himself comfortable. What can I help you with?
I'll say there is this like air around Sloane where usually if she asks for information from the others, right? There's a sense of I deserve this information and I deserve for you to give it to me. Here there is this sense of almost like I don't want to ask you for information. Yet here I am. So there is this like hidden under like lying feeling of a like begrudgingly asking this. It's hidden as much as possible, but there it comes out every so often. Well, seeing as our lineage and all of the blood related things are well documented in the minds of those who are above us and older than us, I wonder if you've ever heard about a certain cult. I don't know how much your fields intertwine with that, seeing as you are more in the business side and the medical side of things. I don't know if you have been all the entirety that you've walked around this earth, but I have reasons to be interested in a specific cult that might have been started around the London area and that might be connected to the Venture line.
The Venture line. Well, I do know of one. I trust, I mean, I tried my best to educate you on all things that felt important about the clan. And that did involve discussing for a long time the head honcho, I suppose would be a nice colloquial term for it. By the name of Mithras. Do you remember?
Precisely. So, and I take out like a physical notebook, like a pen.
Yeah.
And I say, how far-fetched would it be to have modern times activity in such things, seeing as it would be absurd because it is a cult that supposedly has died down, right?
Yes. Well, I imagine it should have. He was considered killed during World War II, or at least driven into torpor after the Blitz. There was a little bit of gray area around his whereabouts and status, but another took the position as acting prince for a time until it was confirmed fairly recently. Well, I say recent, I mean that's a relative term for kindred, depends on your age. But
I think there's a forced laugh, like smile
yeah,
slash
yeah.
chuckle at that, but it's very much
Uh-huh.
forced.
1996 was when he was declared having met the final death. So, in terms of recent activity surrounding the cult, as far as I am aware, it will have eased off a little. I wasn't privy to an awful lot of it because I didn't ascribe to that sort of thing back when he was ruling and I stayed in the area. He was a very commanding presence, and it was clear that people did follow. I mean, there were mortals who used to worship him as a god back in the day.
Yes, so is there any information on whether or not that cult part, that human cult part, actually died down when he supposedly met his end?
You know, I can't say with any certainty. I have not been in London so recent as I mean, I've visited, but not being considered a resident as recent as 1996. But I suspect it will have petered off. I can inquire with the people from the region to see if there has been any lingering effects. But what is the point in continuing to worship him once he is gone? I mean, unless you consider he actually became a deity upon death, that would require a certain dogma amongst those people that such a thing is possible.
Ideas can live on longer than a person can.
Certainly, yes. I I'm assuming you're asking because there has been something to trigger this.
No, I have a sudden fascination with cults. Yes, there is a quite a pressing matter why I'm suddenly interested in a cult of a sun god. I didn't become religious myself.
No, I never would have assumed that would be the case. Not really your style.
What would it cost me?
I think this further reinforces the fact that I believe we should create a warm welcoming committee for our relative from down south. Perhaps they come with information.
Of course, I will offer the biggest hospitality I can to our distant relative when they arrive in the city.
They're not so distant. They are of the same bloodline as us. I guess if we were comparing it to family, they're like a niece of mine.
Then, regardless of how distant they are, if it takes, I will give them the hospitality of the city as long as they are safe to be kept in this domain.
Yes. As far as I've been made aware, she has a string of law firms down in that area, and the original plan that was discussed with me is that she was hoping to branch it out, and they were aware that going further north with that sort of business, not that she would be running it, so there wouldn't be kindred involved necessarily, but the mortals of that business were perhaps going to open up a Scottish branch, and they suggested coming to Edinburgh. And then she has seemingly shown an interest in moving and coming to reside here.
Whatever their reasons are, I am sure I'll get to the bottom of it as the sheriff of the domain.
I think, given where she's coming from, we can angle this. She's going to require an awful lot of support from us in settling in finding a place to reside, the opportunity to open up her branch. She is aware that in terms of generation and such like, I am her superior. And so with her coming here and needing favors, I can make her aware that the price of that is to give you an update on this topic. Would that interest you?
I think it's very obvious that it would. However, I'm sure you will also get your benefits out of it.
Of course. Indeed. There are a few things, but this feels like a fair request to make.
Very well. I close the notebook, click the pen away, and stand up immediately,
Mm-hmm.
seeing as that is the information I required and you do not currently have it, but will get means of holding it. I'm sure that we'll see each other again when our family member is around.
Indeed. One point, and he stands and adjusts his jacket. If it comes to pass that this is connected to that, I would tread very carefully. They were dangerous in that there is a ruthlessness to those who have a level of belief that they do, a righteousness, and a tendency towards making a point thoroughly about who's in control in a situation.
Zealots always like to make a big scene. You should just look at the
Yes.
news.
And Mithras was many things. He was kind of insufferable. I was never a fan. Anybody who literally tries to hold themselves to the status of a god is a level of ego that I've never been particularly fond of, and it's a little too sacrilegious for my taste.
I suppose some like to make a subtle scene while others like to make a big one and make that their own.
I
Rest
suppose
assured, I will take your warnings into consideration.
there's a little irony. He used to get coined the unconquered son. But if he truly is dead now, somebody conquered him. Anyway, until next time.
Sure, we'll see each other again quite soon.
And he will give you a nod and shows himself out. He is willing to come to spaces of your choosing. He is willing to have the type of relationship that you and he have. But it's clear that there's no illusion to him that he does have more seniority to you. And it's a thing about the Ventru to understand that and to recognize it. But he does it quietly. And he never acts in a way like he is trying to impose anything on you or act in a way that is overpowering. It is just subtle, quiet things. So he heads out. Next, Lewis and the Prince. Unless, is there anybody else you're needing to meet before you speak to her?
I don't think I need to speak to them. I think I've got what I need. At some point, I think Sloane would get a message just saying, I think it would just be, goodness, give me a moment. I just need to remind myself of something. Yeah, be Miss Bailey. If it would be at all possible, I would terribly I would be very appreciative if I could be in touch with your associate, Mr. Knox, first to discuss our mutual interests.
I look forward to her delivering that news to Mr. Knox when they have their meeting next.
Yeah, and that's up to Sloane to do.
Absolutely.
I am following the advice of my my colleague Dragoslav to go through Sloane.
Yeah.
And that if Sloane doesn't want me to be in touch with him, that's absolutely fine.
Yes. Very good. So to that effect, you would be able to go and meet with Prince Eleanor Douglas. She is always impeccably dressed. She has a fellow Toreador of some age and significance who has a fashion house. I've always pictured it Vivian Westwood-esque. And for as long as anybody will have known Prince Douglas, she has been dressed by this woman, which gives this woman a lot of sway in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
So she is in the sort of power suit that looks incredibly good on this woman. She is statuesque, tall, has very short, sort of like white blonde hair, striking narrow features. For everyone's reference, I tend to cast games like this as if I was casting a movie because it helps me picture things. This is a very Tilda Swinton-esque woman, and is wearing a nice, well-tailored suit, with a pair of brogues, and she is standing awaiting your arrival.
Yeah, come forwards. A sort of polite, sort of fairly, I'd say probably a sort of let's say about a sort of 30-degree bow, kind of thing. Just like, my liege, you
Mr.
requested my
Cowan.
presence.
I did. Yes. Come. And she will lead you further in. She tends to meet you on one of the more outside rooms, before leading you further in. And you know about this woman that there are a lot of people that might be around her that would help with security, but of the many disciplines that she has that she is really quite expert in, she is a very strong handler of auspex, and knows how to see people who are trying to go unseen.
Not super easy to get the drop on her.
No, she is not. She has on occasion done the power move of being quite aware that someone was in the room and then tailoring her conversation such, and then making it apparent in what she's saying that she knows that they're there. Or waits until afterwards and then lets whoever's person that is their boss know. So Dragoslav's probably had a couple of messages before about, can you please tell this person to not do that again? So yeah.
That person got a talking to.
Yeah. But she will lead you into the space and indicate for the two of you to sit down. Are you well?
I'm getting along. Isn't what the work is The work that you've asked me to do is rewarding.
I'm sure that it is. What can you tell me about it? Are things safe in my city right now?
Things are moving in your city. We have the best people are in the positions that they need to be to resolve it. However, it's not as of yet solved, but not important enough to bring to your attention. I didn't feel.
That's a very diplomatic answer, Lewis.
You know me. I would hate to put anyone out.
I know. But I'm asking specifically now. Are things safe?
And I think Lewis is like, I believe so. But
Well,
there are dangers. But the city is safe.
well, there's always dangers. If you were to pick the thing you're most concerned about right now, what would it be?
Kind of becoming unwell. The food supply is potentially compromised. And
Okay.
unfortunately, other matters are more immediate. They're taking my attention, but I am looking into it.
Away from the food being unwell.
Unfortunately, they're more. This is the food is not yet to a position where it'll be dangerous, but irritating. An inconvenience at the moment that could potentially become worse.
Hmm. Well, that's not good.
Very little about our life is good.
I suppose that's true. Okay, so people are sick. Is this a mortal health concern?
I'm unsure. I haven't. I believe it's more in the realms of my and my clan's domain, but I'm uncertain yet.
Something magical.
Again, I wouldn't wish to ascribe it to that as of yet, but that is my current working hypothesis.
Do I need to speak to the Lord Emrys about it?
Absolutely not.
Hmm.
I believe, after all, he would surely he wouldn't disrespect you by not telling you of a danger to your domain if he was aware of it.
You're quite correct.
Therefore, I believe that it is not yet at a position of immediate concern.
And if there were dangers in my city, you'd come and tell me right away, correct?
Well, if you asked me to, of course. Surely an individual of your talents would be able to see them before I would anyway.
That is what I have you for, Lewis.
But I thought you had me to attend your functions so that you couldn't be bothered to.
You and I both know that's not true. But I appreciate the amusement.
Do you try?
Hmm. Is everyone doing their job okay?
As far as I can tell.
Hmm. I mean,
Your
I have things
seneschal
that I can tell. You're my seneschal is doing well. I hope that he is.
I hear that people don't trust him. He has an unpleasant manner about him, so people tell me. But
Yes, but
That's
I
not his
need you
job.
to turn that unsettledness into finding out things. You have to be my eyes and my ears. I don't think any of them are going to be very happy if I have to step in and find these things out for myself.
No, that does seem unlikely, doesn't it, my liege?
So there's nothing interesting. People are sick.
People are sick.
It's November. It's probably the flu.
Potentially.
What makes you think it's something magical?
I'm aware of your talents in Auspex.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had when you were exploring the mysteries of this discipline, have you ever had a moment where you have an itch, but it is within your mind as opposed to anywhere upon your body?
Yes.
It's like that, gnawing away at me. But I will resolve the current problems, and then I will devote my attention to it.
Penitent, I need you to roll something for me.
Of course.
You're going to be rolling wits plus subterfuge. Do you have any fortitude?
I do not.
That's unfortunate.
I doubt that my smuggling specialization will come in handy here, but
Yeah, smuggling won't help you here.
I didn't think it would. The fact that I was a bootlegger
No.
in the 20s isn't going to be helpful here. Weird.
No. If you're feeling very strongly, you could blood search.
No, I think I'm absolutely fine with this.
Okay. Oh. I'll check your roll in a minute. Let me. Okay. Okay. I need you to tell me top notes, what's first and foremost in your mind, and then 3 lingering thoughts beneath it.
Current
Could be
top
more
thought.
emotional. Current, like,
Mhm.
top note, what is right front and center in your mind, and then 3 things, whether it is thoughts, whether it is memories, whether it is emotions, 3
Mhm.
things that are kind of lingering just under that surface.
Yes, so there is the thought about the thoughts about the kind being unwell, particularly the conversation I had 2 nights ago with the Canadian couple, telling me that therefore there is an image of kind becoming sick. There is then an image of the street sign to Greyfriars Cemetery sort of floating in my mind, knowing that that's sort of a potentiality of it. There is images of I'm thinking about the the next layer down is the free other kindred that I'm working together with on the sort of cult thing, and then there is an image of the fabric, the burnt fabric. That's 2. At which point then it is the words sun god.
Okay. She's listening to you talking, nodding, is smiling at what you're saying. I appreciate the work that you do, Lewis.
if there's nothing else, as I say, I have some leads that I wish to explore while the night is still ongoing.
Of course. Do come to me with information should you learn of anything that feels pressing that I should know about.
Absolutely.
She gives a toothy grin.
Bow.
Good night to you, Lewis.
And you, my liege.
She doesn't stand. She lets you leave. Okay.
If I may,
Yeah.
I would like for a request for a meeting with the prince to be sent.
Yep. Noted.
Once Lewis leaves the building, as if I knew exactly when he left the building.
Very good. What I'll do is we'll get to that conversation. We'll do.
It does not have to be the session. We do not have time. I know we have things on the docket.
We might have time, so we'll have Astrid and Altair have their meeting. And then we will get to Dragoslav and the Prince. So, a meeting request was sent by Altair to Sloane for a time just after the meeting where she was meeting with Landon. I'm assuming maybe same space, Sloane? If you're already there, makes sense.
We're here. We don't need to go out of our way.
No. Let the lapdog come to you. Very good. So, Altair, you are able to make your way up to the meeting space.
I think he may have gone the long way round just to try and get a little bit of the alcohol out of his system. But he's feeling a little bit more confident than usual as he goes up the steps to the main meeting space. You can see where he's kind of dislodged some of his makeup just to clean his face up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll head up and we'll knock on the door.
You can come in.
We'll make his way in. Sloane, just the person I was looking to see.
There's an immediate reaction, just a small second when you say slow and not Mrs. Burley.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look you up and down. Altair. Please do come in. I am very curious to know what you wanted to share.
Well, there is, and he's sort of chatting away as he's going to sit.
And I
There-
stop him as he like starts chatting and walking. I hold up a hand and I say, "You know better." I look behind him at the door that's still open.
We'll go back, we'll shut the door, we'll click the lock over, and we'll check it 10, 10, 3, 7 on each hand, and then we'll come back to sit.
Good. Good. I almost thought you forgot what I taught you. Please, you were going to say something.
Yes. We went to go and scout out one of the homes. Potential drug generation, but other than that, nothing of particular interest. We're going to look further into it. I didn't want to necessarily scare anyone off, so you'll have to forgive me. I headed off towards the Royal Mile to feed tonight, and I think the person that I may have was a little bit inebriated. Very inebriated.
And yet you still thought it was the best idea for you to come before me in this state?
Well, I had a call request earlier and I wanted to speak with you, so I thought it was of utmost importance to come and speak to you now rather than save it.
Right. To come and speak to me now was so important, even though you said you didn't find anything of interest yet.
Nothing of interest yet, but I have set up a meeting or I've at least given my number over.
Right. So, absolutely nothing except for the fact that it might be a drug then.
Yes, they also, there may be some kindred living within the home.
Maybe.
We had the scent of a kindred.
And so you didn't at least think to try and check up a little bit more on that, or have the Nosferatu Primogen who was with you, who's very good at finding out things unseen, check up on that if you had the idea?
With all respect to the Primogen, I'm a little bit more social. Arguably, marginally, but a smidgen more. I have a lead and a trace to speak to get some more information about it. I have a name at least.
So you'll talk to them and get the information out of them whether or not they're a kindred living in that building, instead of trying to find it out in that building.
I couldn't get in the building.
There's like a tsk, tsk, tsk sound as she
Mm.
as she shakes her head, walking around a table. I, you know, I always hate disappointment. It's it's really a thing that the world will never stop giving you, no matter how long you live. Take my word for that. I've lived quite some time now, and disappointment yet somehow still finds your way. Despite how good of a job you try to do at making sure it never happens again. You trust a person, try to hope for something. Those are the moments when disappointment finds you. And I do trust you, Altair. You know that. I always try to assure you of that. And I'm sure that you know that I trust you. Otherwise I wouldn't have, given you this job and protected you for all the time that I have. You do know that, right?
I understand that, yes.
Good, because just sometimes, when you're saying things like this and disappointing me, I would almost start to doubt that you still know that. Silly, perhaps a human part still left in my brain, I suppose. I, you know, I'll let it slip. I think you'll do a good job tomorrow night when you actually find out if there are kindred living there, if there is any kindred activity, or if there is any thin blood activity there. Any of the sorts. I am sure you'll, with the second try, you'll get the information we need out of that to keep the domain safe. And, in order then as well for me to continue keeping you safe.
I understand that. Also, with respect, there is information that has been found. We know that there is some sort of kindred activity going on within the house, and I have a name and a possible link to find out more information. More than we would have had we not gone on this journey.
Yes, I know. And it was a very wise decision of the Nosferatu Primogen to go there and seek it out. And it's good of you that you could join them. I'm sure that if you follow their wise words, there would be less and less moments in the future where you would disappoint me.
He looks for a minute like he's going to speak, and then decides against it. Right.
That's good. I I can't help but feel a little bit of pride when I see you learning so fast. You know, you need it to survive in this world. Well, both worlds in general, but being quick on your feet, avoiding the news that way, and being the first one to still find out. You do make me proud. You know that, Altair, don't you?
I'm aware. He says more as aware of the concept, not of Sloane being proud.
Good, because, well, that's how I should be towards the rest of our society if they are to truly believe you're one of my, well, our line. That's very important. Being proud of the ones who are of our blood. I told you that when we made up your cover, right?
You did, yes, and I like to hope that I keep it up.
I like to hope so as well, but you know, hope, I said, leads to disappointment. So instead of hoping on it, you can trust me, and I'll protect you. So do you trust me, Altair?
I do, yes.
Good. Then I'll be taking something that I need from you. And with that, having walked on the table, she will kind of stand a little bit behind and next to the chair that Altair is sitting in. She's going to hold out a hand at his side, open, palm up.
Stuff table. What is it she's after? Sorry.
Oh, well, nibble.
Oh no, I meant with the open palm.
Oh, she's holding it up, like kind of at a side for him to put his wrist in.
Ah, cool. He will offer.
Yeah. And she'll take his wrist, she'll raise it up to her mouth, and she'll bite in.
Altair, what goes through your mind when this happens?
I think he looks down in a way similar to how you would when you're trying to not look at a blood draw. This is nothing intimate. This is nothing close. This is ritual and nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
There is a slight feeling of something akin to humiliation at the back of his head. He is old.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around a while. He's seen a lot, and yet he's still having to cover as the lapdog, the clown for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the only way that he can get by and survive in a place that he wants to be. And he's thinking, if this is the way to get it, then head down.
Yeah. In a city that supports scourge activity, it is not wise to reveal what you truly are.
Mm-hmm.
Sloane, how do you feel when you do this?
Content. Like there's an ever living hunger in Sloane that's not just for blood, that is sated at the same time as her bestial hunger is
Mhm.
sated.
Mm-hmm.
There's never even a whisper in the mind of this being wrong. It feels good to both her beast and her as a person.
Yeah. Somebody submitting to you in this way just feels correct. Very good. I feel like that is going to be the perfect moment for your phone to go off, Altair. And I will say it is up to you whether you pick it up or not.
I think he's sort of head down and to the side, will straighten his gaze back up to mid center, will hear the phone going and assumes that Sloane can as well, and will
Mhm.
just say, "May I?"
She'll lift her head for a moment, still keep his wrist in her hand. I'm feeling generous. You may. But she'll go back down to feed.
Well, it's happening. I mean, incredible. Alter, as you take the phone out, the screen display will show, and Sloane is busy, but I'm okay with Sloane maybe catching out of your eye to see that it is Meredith Reed, the Ventru that had asked you for the favor to handle a situation for her, to keep her ghoul safe. That is calling you. Do you pick it up,
I
Alter?
I think he will. So he will kind of very obviously hold it out in front of himself,
Yeah.
with the knowledge that probably Sloane is going to want to know. And
Mhm.
then without moving the wrist that's up at the side, we'll click it on and put it on next to his ear.
Mhm. Alter?
Miss Reed, yes. Hello.
Hi. Good evening. I'm just phoning a quick thing, really. I just wanted to thank you again for your help the other night. It really means a lot that you did that. And I don't know if you uh care to know, but she's doing very well. My associate. Um, yeah,
That's
I have you to thank for it, and we're hoping that the baby might actually arrive soon. So it's a happy time all around.
definitely indeed a time for celebration. You'll have to keep me in the circuit of what's going on.
I will. I will. A new life. It's just there's something so blessed about it, don't you think?
I think so. A life of opportunities right ahead of them.
Yeah. Not something those in our position get to observe very often anymore.
No.
Well, thank you. Again, I just wanted to call just to say that I know you're very busy, so trying to see you in person might not be an option. So it's just to give an update.
Oh, nonsense, Meredith. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. You have a good evening, Altair.
You too.
Just as he says that last moment of
Uh-huh.
saying goodbye, there's a harder biting into his wrist to get a reaction out of him as he says the last sentence of goodbye, so that his voice changes from the feeling.
I think his voice sort of catches a little bit as he says it,
Mm-hmm.
and he will sort of almost cut her off.
Yeah.
Immediately as the call is done, I'll dislodge myself.
Mm-hmm.
What did you hope to be? When you were small and when the world was full of so much sunshine, what did you hope to be?
I have to say, those human hopes leave you when you're around long enough. I can't say I remember.
I wanted to go to Las Vegas. I wanted to be a magician. It's stupid. It's so silly now to look back on it, and I just wanted to make people happy. Can you believe that? I don't think I
Seems
still
the
can.
world. I don't think I would quite allow you to just run off to Las Vegas to be a magician at this point, no.
I don't think you'd let me leave Edinburgh.
If you wanted that, we could talk about it. But
At
the whole
least
point of you coming here was that you wanted to be here.
I know.
I'm not forcing you to stay.
No, but a leash stretched is still a leash. Sorry,
What I'm giving you isn't a leash, Altair. It's a safety vest. A bulletproof vest for those who have bullets waiting in the chamber aimed at you. I don't much like you using the term leash. Feels ungrateful.
I'm only using the same terminology that others have. With all respect, there is a certain level that comes with your clan, a certain nobility. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I like you sitting in the chair. I'll position myself leaning against the table at the side. Yet I've never used those terms for you. Not once.
Well, that's how you see me, isn't it? That's how you see, at least how we work. That's how you speak.
Are you presuming to know how I think and feel and act, Altair?
No, but if
Dog, I'd go to the nearest shelter and get 10.
I think I should go. I'm going to continue saying foolish things.
You should. Keep an eye and ear out for any sun-related terminology that comes across your path.
Yes, ma'am. We'll stand up a little too quickly. And we'll make a very sharp about turn. May I go?
You can.
Makes a very quick exit.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting indeed. I think that is a perfect place for us to leave this evening. Dragoslav, I understand you want to speak to the prince. Perhaps she is busy and will speak to you the following evening.
It was just a request. It did not have to
Yeah.
be tonight.
Yeah. For now, we close on this evening, on this cold November in Edinburgh in 2011, where there's a lot of very interesting things happening. Thank you very much for joining us for our episode today, and we will see you next week for our next session. I will allow my players to let you know who they are, who they've been playing, and where you can find them, and I will go at the end.
Hello, everyone. As always, I have been and continue to be Penitent. I have been playing Lewis. You can't find me many places on the internet. I don't have I'm not on a social media thing. I don't like it. It's bad out there. The internet is bad generally. So I don't tend to be on it. Although I do pop up here and there on the transmissions sometimes. The lovely people here are kind enough to let me keep coming back. But that's me. I will pass it over.
Hi, hello. I'm Syrinx. Actually a nice person as a player, but I've been having a fun time playing an absolute horrible kindred. um, Not really any other shows currently going on TTRPG wise, so I just suggest you stick around here for the upcoming few weeks and see how we finish this little story And I might
Yeah.
be around on the channel more in the future.
Hooray, hooray.
Howdy. I've been Magpie. You can find me online, well, on Blue Sky at Antique Horror. I yap a lot over on there. I'm also a comic book writer, so you can find some of the bits and bobbles I've written on there. Yeah, this is the only place that I'm gaming at the minute. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi everyone, my name is Satan or Alyssa Vamp on the internet, mostly just on Blue Sky and here on Twitch, where you can find me in the transmissions and some few other channels, playing around. As I am a little TTRPG goblin and I love playing games. I also do art. I have done the art for this game. And if you are interested in any art, again, you can find me on Blue Sky. Send me a message if you'd like. Um, uh, that's about it. That's me.
Mm-hmm. Hello, it's me. I'm Emmer Hamlu on the internet. You can find me Hamlu. Really only Linktree and Blue Sky. I don't really use anything. To be honest with you, I don't really use Blue Sky. It is indeed bad out there. You can find me here on this channel primarily. You'll hear me here for the next handful of weeks for the end of this Vampire the Masquerade story. And tomorrow you'll see me running our Dragon Age flagship show for the next installment. Things got very teary-eyed. There were several players crying. So yeah, that'll be fun to see tomorrow. There's a few other things that are cooking up for the next handful of months, but that'll get announced when it's time to announce it. We have a couple of friends who are streaming right now. I think we should head on over to Lude Alfred. Yeah, Freddie.
Awesome art.
Long time friend of the show. We love him dearly. Normally does art, I believe, is just currently doing body doubling co-working kind of situation that he's been doing recently, which I really like. Because it's rough out here and sometimes we just need friends to help us be productive. So if we can stick around and chat and say hello to him, that'd be grand. And other than that, I'll see you technically tomorrow, but for this game, next week. Bye.
Bye.